Talking about the TSU game, obviously excited to get a win. Um, it's kind of a tale of two halves, obviously, or at least the first quarter. I think they had the ball. We only had the ball maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the first half, but we had the ball 21 minutes of the second half. So some things I was proud of, some adversity that I thought we grew on. Our quarterback Jerry Neal's 0 for 6. His first six passes, and it's been several games since we haven't got off to a good start. Throwing the football. So, and then you give up a couple big plays. On defense. So I thought it was a good opportunity to grow when we did that. When we're down 14-0, I didn't see any panic. I saw some guys, still, a lot of belief between offensive defense. So that was really good. Now, obviously, you have to go and make some plays in order to overcome, those 14 points. I thought we obviously did that. We started getting stops, and then we got the 2 scores and tied the game up to get to the second half. So that was encouraging. And then we get to the second half. We started kind of just forcing the runs and keeping some first downs going. We ended up 6 of 11 on third down, and then we held them to 2 of 11 on third down. So that was the biggest difference, for sure in the second half. And with that comes, some man coverage, comes some opportunities to make some plays. The receivers and the quarterbacks did that, and we were able to get those last 2 scores. So, nothing pretty about the game, nothing, no great statistics, at least offensively for sure, but that's okay. You go to 11-game season, and there's not a whole lot of difference, talent-wise. I mean, Tennessee State, is bigger and taller than us, but thought our guys competed, were able to get a win, get out of there. Win at home, a Sergeant York Trophy win, and get us to 2-1 in the conference and get us to this week. But as I told the coaches, there is, I can't wait to get to 2:30 meeting today, because fundamentally there's so much stuff that we didn't do very well in that game. I thought we got sloppy. I didn't think we played with great line of scrimmage procedures. We didn't play with great tempo. There's a lot of things we haven't done in the last 2 or 3 games that for whatever reason, those things showed up on Saturday. So I thought our DBs got sloppy in their technique, and it cost us on some big balls as well. But nothing wrong with our effort, nothing wrong with our team chemistry, and sometimes that can carry over. But as I told the players last week, that has to be a given. That has to be something that we can expect every week. But as you continue to play better teams, you're going to have to, our teams that are maybe physically better than you, you're going to have to be able to play with that energy, that effort, but execute as well. Not have turnovers again. We lost the turnover battle. Where we have 2 this one on kickoff return again, and then the 1 pick, and then we only got 1. But you're able to get the field goal blocks, get 2 of those, so that was huge. And so anyway, good team win, proud of it, and move on to this week.
Jason, you mentioned the offense and not being as crisp as you would like.
Right.
Can you just kind of elaborate what that ideally looks like for you?
Yeah, kind of like Tennessee Tech. The 250, 200 rushing, 250, passing. That's where we would like to be. We're gonna give Tennessee State credit. I mean, that's also a team last year that we rushed for. I mean, we had total 210 yards total offense, and a 21-16 win. So they got good schemes. They got good players. So for us, we were able to kind of. It's good to know that we just totally don't rely on Rod Wright and Jared Neal and Kevin Weathers. Okay, it was good to know we can, just like we finished the Tech game, we were able to grind some runs out this week and get to, a first down and have an opportunity to, take shots or make a play. Didn't like having to throw it on 4th and 2. Didn't like that part of it, but once again, give Tennessee State credit for that. I just felt a lot more comfortable us, throwing and catching than I did actually forcing that run at that time. But, we're gonna have to get that 4th and 2 run. We're gonna have to be able to make that play as we go forward.
Does that lean more on guys like Trent Garland, or is that more of an offensive line thing?
All tight ends, everybody, everybody, the offensive line, the tight ends, the fullback, and the tailback. We need to be able to make those things happen. I think we were 2 for 2. I think I'm right on that on 4th downs, but don't necessarily like having to throw it on 4th and 2, but you do like having that luxury of having a quarterback that you feel confident making a throw and receivers getting open.
How do you feel about your offensive line right now?
It's how can you be critical with the way they're pass protected? Now Jared got hit this week. Matter of fact, he's in a boot today. So for I think he'll be fine and all that. But they put some pressure on it. They had a goal to get to our quarterback, and they did some things, and it wasn't always a clean pocket. He got hit several times. Yeah, that was the one, and he played through it. So we can play better. But once again, they got some good-looking guys up front. They got some guys that that can play, and we rush 4 men, and at some point there's 2 of those guys that are singled up, and we got to make sure that we win some of those one-on-one battles. But it's hard to pass protect like that. I mean, it really is when they're rushing going forward and you're going backwards, and it's not going to always be clean and pretty. And but up to this point, they've done a really good job. I don't know. We'll probably hold him out today, though. Yeah. We'll hold him out today, and that's fine. It's a Monday. We'll let Troy Cook, our backup guy, get a bunch of reps. He needs those. But no, I expect Jared to be ready to go. But with those things, what happens is the next one he takes on it, does that slow him down even more? So that's, it always concerns you anytime you see your quarterback's name on the injury report.
Left ankle or right?
I don't even know. I saw he was outside a few minutes ago out there with his fiance, and I didn't know he was in a boot until Bart came in and brought the injury report. So
that's an ankle, right?
yeah.
On paper, this is a game y'all should win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this as a game where y'all can right the ship
Mm-hmm.
to get your offense back into
gear? It's kind of a deal to where no, they're not going to let you do that. What I mean by that is Austin Peay's got good schemes. You watched every tape of the cut-ups. There's not one formation that you look at and you say, oh, this is the formation you get in. They're not sound. They're not where they're supposed to be. It's 8, 9-man boxes. Okay, I mean there's everything's muddy. Everything's muddy. You can hand it off all day, and guess what? You may not, unless they miss a tackle. You're not going to come out. You're not going to have a lot of big runs. There's you can say, well, coach, they're giving up this, they're giving up this. Okay, still it's muddy. It's not like handing the ball off and get hat on hat and the guy goes 40 yards down the field. They got guys there. Sometimes they make tackles. Sometimes they don't. So no, and I don't think. And I don't think the rest of the season will be either. I think once you start getting these conference games, no matter who you're playing, we're not a 550-yard, 600-yard offense guy, especially with these wide receivers down. You're having to play with with 2 guys or 3 guys that are playing almost every rep. So and even statistically, if you were to get to 500 yards, it's mainly because somebody missed a tackle or a DB got beat on a vertical ball. How many times are you willing to take a chance to throw it down the field and you go incomplete and you go 3 and out and you don't flip the field for them and stuff like that. So I think last year, you looked at this game, we won the game 31-7 last year, but I wouldn't tell you it was a great game offensively for us. I think we had some yards, but it wasn't, it wasn't just clean and where you just said, oh, it was a dominating offense performance. I don't think that at all, and I don't see this Saturday being any different. Not as far as we're just built like you and I've talked about all year long. We're built. Our offense has to play off our defense, and vice versa.
Any chance you can get one of those receivers like Vegas or somebody back this week?
No. I got a chance maybe to get Eddings back, who hasn't played a whole lot, but he gives us a quality scholarship body that's fast. But I think he'll be day to day, and hopefully by the end of the week we can get him.
Any other injuries
We had Khalid and TP back, the 2 safeties back, and they played sparingly in the game. Hopefully one more week, we'll get those guys back. But it's still 3.5 receivers is what it is, and then of course the linebacker. And so, but we're definitely more healthy than we were against Tennessee Tech and against Tennessee State, and just got to get a quarterback out of a boot.
Have you seen any film from Austin Peay's last game against Murray?
Yeah, I watched every snap of it.
Yeah.
It's when you watch Murray on tape, because they're so spread out, you almost have to take it out of your cut-ups, because that's just not what we do. They go from sideline to sideline, and there's some runs that they can hit because of the coverages that they get that we're not going to get, and because you have to stop their perimeter game first, and then that leaves less hot. You know, they rushed for 200-something yards this week, 250 or so against Austin Peay. But you know, different than what we're going to see because of how the two teams are, you know, are built. So no, you know, you go back to the EKU game, the EIU, Southern Miss, Vanderbilt. You know, all those other previous games is what you kind of, you know, that's more like us.
This might be kind of a silly question. I mean, obviously you have to focus on the football ahead, but you know, being 2-1 and being sort of mixed right now, I mean, can you kind of allow yourself to, you know, take a peek at the standings, sort of see how everybody sizes up right now?
You'd like to, but you know, then you look up and you're like, we've only played 3 conference games. We still, you know, we still got 5 to go. So, you know, we're probably, it'll probably be until we get to the Arkansas game before we can do that. And I guess that's what, 2 more away. You know, so you know, you kind of got to look at it like this. For us, it's kind of a, you know, it's a 1 week season, then another week season, then then I guess it's Arkansas the last week. Then you kind of take your breath from a conference standpoint, see where you are. Then you get in that, you know, kind of the drive there in November. So, you know, once again, here's what's on stake for you this week. You know, you want to win the Sergeant York Trophy, have total possession of that. You know, have great practice, you know, tonight and this week, and play your tail off on Saturday. You want to get to 3-1 in the conference, and you know, go to practice the next week with an opportunity to see yourself in the top half of the standings. You know, be 1-0 this week, and that allows you to do that the next week. So, you know, our players know this. We're not good enough we have a good football team. There's not a whole lot of difference from us, Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech, Austin Peay, Southeast Missouri, Murray State in this league. There's not a whole lot of difference. I mean, it's 1-2 touchdowns difference between all of us. And as coaches, you watch the tape, and I'm sure just like, you know, their coaches looking at the tape saying, you know, just like last week, I'm sure he thought he had a great chance to beat Murray based on talent. I'm sure he's looking at our tape saying, you know, the same thing. Hey, if we make this play, you know, if this happens, we're going to have a chance to win this football game. Unlike maybe when he looks at the EKU or Jacksonville State. I mean, you just know when you play those two teams how well you're going to have to play based on their talent level. So, you know, probably the bottom 6 of this league, we're all a touchdown, 1 or 2, who plays well that day. It's really close, really close.
You talked a little about the offensive ideal defensively this week. What does the ideal look like for you? What do you want to see, just big picture?
You know, eliminate those big plays. Make teams go on, you know, 10-play drives again. You know, we're playing pretty well in run defense. You know, and you can say, yeah, coach, you're doing that because you're loading the box up, you know, and making yourself susceptible, you know, to those big throws. Yeah, you know, that's kind of our style. So, you know, Coach Bird, our defense did a great job mixing that in the second half, showing that press coverage and then bailing out of it and stuff, and you know, kind of. You know, we're able to steal it down like that, meaning that, you know, they think blitz is coming, they check it, and there's nowhere to throw the ball, or showing zone, then coming down pressing late and stuff. You know, those are kind of the cat and mouse games, and coaches know, you know, that's kind of what we do, so they got to have a plan for that, and I'm sure our opponents will. But you know, for us, 2 games in a row, we've held teams to 17 points and 14 points. Okay, so that's with turning the ball over 5 times. That's with the special teams and offense turning the ball over 5 times. So, you know, very proud of the defense for that. Proud of the defensive staff. You know, so it may not be. You held a team under 200 yards this past week, or what was it? Under 300, and then under 200. You know, the last week. So that's 2 weeks in a row. That's statistically proud of the defense and the points, and then you know. I would love to see that again this week. It'd be a great day for us.
I know you expect Jared to play, but you know, out of curiosity, I mean, how does Troy Cook look? I mean, what do you like from him?
Yeah, you know, in Pascal, you probably would think, you know, good player. Out there watching one-on-one, you think, you know, good player. He looks the part. He's certainly got a big arm on him, but it's, you know, something totally different, right? When you line up there and it actually counts, you know, and you got to rush, and he doesn't have that orange jersey on, and they can tackle him and stuff. So, you know, he's never started a game in college, so. You know, no, is it be concerning? Yeah, it would be. Do I have confidence in his ability? Yes, I have a lot of confidence in his ability, but, you know, it's not the same as having a guy that started, almost 30 games and has thrown, 16 touchdown passes. So, no, I definitely think that would be in our opponent's favor. Like I said, real proud of those field goal blocks. Now that was kind of the change. And I didn't even know until Alex texted me exactly who it was, and you go out and watch the tape. But that's 2 scoring opportunities there and flip the field. How about that though when the ball came right back to their kicker? Wouldn't that have been a bummer if he would have? Because on that side, it's on their side of the line of scrimmage, so he can take that run with it. That would, and we're celebrating. Jay Murphy's running off the field, holding his hands up as the kicker's running down the sideline. So luckily it was 4th and probably 12 or so to keep the kicker from getting it. That would have been a bummer, but had a 2 good kickoff returns after fumbling one of them. That's a true freshman back there. That's 2 weeks in a row he's dropped one. He's got hit pretty hard and the ball's come flying out of there. And so, went back with the older guy the second time, and Jordan Landry did a good job. He did. Damani Taylor played well this week. We were able to get DJ Simmons back at linebacker, so that was able to help. Guys, when you watch the tape now, at one point there's 3 freshman linebacker in there. Redshirt freshman and James Gillian, redshirt freshman Garrett Wall, and true freshman and Prather. So, we kind of got about a 6-man rotation going on, but those are true freshmen playing. And thought Glover kind of, turned the switch and made some plays this week. Thought he played really fast, so it was good to have Glover back because, Glover usually always shows up in the stat sheet and especially in previous years, but this was his first game where I really thought he turned his body loose and had, when the opportunities were there to make a play, he did. Trent Garland, 20 carries, 85 yards, kind of steady Eddie back there, and we got to get LD the ball more. LaDevin Fair, I mean, he's and it just worked out like that. But LD is, he's 6-point-something yards a rush, and so we need to get the ball in his hand a little bit more and do some things with him.
Overall, what do you expect from Austin Peay this week?
Just like when they beat Murray last year, right? I mean, I remember watching that tape, and you say, well, how in the world? They're at home, right? You're trying to get better, trying to get that win under their belt. You go back and look, last year they pressured us probably about 40% of the time. I mean, brought pressure, try to create plays. So it's going to be, they're not going to just sit there. They're going to bring pressure, trying to force some things, make things happen on their defense. Offensively, they ran the ball well in the second half against Murray, ran for over 200 yards. I think that the backs had over 100 yards 2 weeks in a row. So, I think they'll run at us, see if we can stop it. If we can't, they'll keep turning it out, and then they'll max protect and, challenge our corners, throw the ball down the field, and see if they can make a couple plays like Tennessee State did.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all.